THSE or a loss prevention department. THSE is nothing but technical health, safety and environment. This particular department is mandatory in every oil and gas company. This is mandated by government because unless he approves the thing, things don't proceed. Because this particular discipline takes care that whatever design or whatever things, whatever we're trying to install, are they safe? It is their responsibility. Because unless they confirm that it's safe, the process are saved, the locations are safe, the project doesn't move forward. So they design what is the hazardous classification. I'm going to cover it in the next subsequent slide, but it's too confusing. So hazardous area classifications, then various other safety studies they conduct over here, whether processes are safe, whether electrical is safe, whatever instrumentation is safe, HVAC is so safe location intakes are located or not, what will happen if the fire breaks out, what happens if the gas breaks out, what happens if the explosion happens, what is the effect of each system of this particular things, what is the cause and effect diagram in that case, which system will shut down, which system will work. All these pros and cons and effects are being taken care by the technical safety discipline. Now, when it comes with the HVAC, technical safety has to work very, very closely because it has to deal with humans, human life apart from process, which is much more vital than the process. So when we talk about human, he's talking about the accommodation where people are staying. And when he talks about the accommodation, HVAC he cannot avoid. And if HVAC is there, that means again he need to think that whether it will be recirculation or pressurization, because outside gas should not come inside. So how to achieve it, or what the cause and effect we need to decide. So we and the technical safety discipline has to sit together and we need to discuss, okay, fire happens, then HVAC system should work or not, whether the fresh air damper should close or not, whether pressurization should be considered or not, whether the gas leak happens outside the platform, that same thing, whether it should work or not, or it should shut down. That we need to sit, and there are various standards. Again, that we need to compare our philosophy. At the end, we need to see that the humans are safe and humans are comfortable inside. Then the black start philosophy we need to discuss with each other. Black start is suppose your entire platform is shut down and again you need to restart it. Then what are the steps you need to follow? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Suppose there's a fire inside the accommodation. Now everything is shut down. After 4 hours, fire is extinguished. Everything is fine. Now what is the next step? So for HVAC, what is the next step? How they will remove the smoke inside, whether the purging will happen or not. That technical safety discipline and HVAC has to sit together and then decide how to manage the smoke inside the accommodation, how to remove it by purging or manual by portable fan. That again we need to discuss with the technical safety. Fire and blast rating of the bulkheads also discussed by the technical safety. Hazardous area classification, zone 0, zone 1, zone 2, safe area. Anyway, don't worry, don't get baffled. I'm going to cover it in subsequent session. It's just for information, because oil and gas platform means you need to consider the leakage of gases also while we are taking out the oil or gas from the respective reservoir. So any gas presence is there or not, my HVAC equipment is located there or not, what will happen if the spark happens, then entire platform will get bursted, right, from the HVAC equipment. So what provisions or precautions we need to take, is there any certification available? So these things also is a part of the hazardous area classification zone equipment designing. Then the temporary refuge philosophy is the place where, as I told you, everyone gathers together in case of emergency. So that is called as temporary refuge. What philosophy we need to design, how pressurization we can maintain, what happens if the pressurization fails, can we provide oxygen cylinders over there for the pressurization purpose. So these are all things we need to sit together and discuss before closing the project or before designing the project. Then hazard workshop is there. Hazard is hazard identification. Hazard is operational hazard. These workshops are the part of the life of the oil and gas professionals like us. Client, that means client comes and grills even the stupidest question he will ask, but you need to answer. He may ask you, what if the pipe bursts due to overpressure? How you have, because he always thinking the worst part, what will happen? because he is right at his part. Suppose he has to operate the whole plant. So we'll ask those questions and you need to be ready to be with your answer very, very confident. That okay, this happens, that this is a provision being considered. Or our pipe is capable to handle this pressure. Or we have over designed the pipe so that even if the pressure achieved, the pipe will not burst. So this kind of smart answer we need to give to satisfy the client. There are various other safety workshops also for which you need to be the part of it. So always remember that this discipline is very, very interesting yet challenging. You need to deal with it, and you need to satisfy each and everyone. Like these are the points. Uh, anyway, I'll be covering in the subsequent sessions. They are in detail. There's ISO 15138 big module is there for the offshore platforms. In that, all these things will be anyway covered. But this is just for your information. Let's go to the next slide.